What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking a little bit about counter steering, why we want to use it, how it works, and why you should be focusing on counter steering. This is Fred. Anyways, let's begin. If you're watching this video, you're probably a beginner, or maybe you just want to watch me talk about counter steering. Counter steering is a pretty simple, pretty basic way to lean, where I'm sure you heard this a million times. Push right, pull right, go left. Why do you want to know what counter steering is? So pretty much, the most control you can get out of your bike means the more you understand your bike and the safer you'll potentially ride. If you have a good understanding of counter steering, then you'll understand exactly how your bike leans. Now yes, you can completely go off of your body, forcing the bike to lean, and the bike doing its own thing when you go into a lean. But it's not as safe as you actually knowing exactly what you are doing to make the bike lean. Now yes, you hanging off the side of your bike is going to make your bike lean, but it's not going to make it lean as much as counter steering. So if you have a very good understanding of counter steering, you're going to be able to lean this bike so much further than you would if you're just going off to the side, you know? With that being said, we're going to go on to what is counter steering. So everybody tells you push right, go right, pull left, pull right, go right, you know? And while it's true, you're probably thinking, well, that's obvious. I already do that. But you really want to think when you're going into that turn, hey, what am I doing when I'm going into a turn? You know, personally, when I go into a turn, I say, okay, outside, inside, outside. You know, go to a far side. You want to go as close as you can to that apex, and then go back outside as much as possible. Or I also tell myself, look at the exit, look where you want to go, not where you're going. And I also tell myself counter steer. I usually tell myself to push or to pull, depending on which way I'm going. But I want to make sure I have a good understanding. Hey, now I notice this cop behind me. Or, yeah, this one that's pulled up. Ooh. Yeah, you just want to tell yourself while you're going to that turn, you know? Because a lot of people, when they start out, they forget their basics, and then they end up staring at a tree, and then next thing you know, they're inside of a ditch because they couldn't stop staring at that tree from target fixation. Okay, anyways, now that red light's gone. So you probably have a good understanding of why you want to actually counter steer, and you know what counter steering is. You understand that you should be telling yourself exactly what you're going to do into that turn, so you're not getting any target fixation and you forget how to turn into a curve. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to do counter steering. So it's pretty easy. If you look at my right hand right here, I'm just going to use one hand. If I pull, well, I'm right on this side. So if I push, it's going to go to the right. So I'm on the right side of the lane now, because I pushed my hand that way. Now, if I pull, it's going to take me to the left side. I'm on the left side, just from pulling the handlebar. That's how simple counter steering is. Now if you actually use this into an actual curve, you're going to feel it if you're going way faster into a curve. I'm going to feel a little bit going into something like this, but if you just use one hand going down this way, then you'll understand exactly what counter steering is. And it's super easy. And like before, if I do the same thing with my left hand, I don't have cruise control on this bike or anything, so I can't do anything crazy. But if I pull, I'll go to the right. If I push, I'll go to the left. You can see just how much control I have if I do that. So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to just push my handlebar, and you can just see how easy that is. Just push my handlebar. I don't even have to look where I'm going, and it'll go exactly where I want it to. I didn't even lean my body at all into that curve, and the bike's doing all the work just for me pushing the handlebar. That's pretty much why it's so important to use this. Use counter steering in your everyday riding, track riding, any type of riding. You should be using counter steering, and whenever you're riding on the street too, if this is your first, second, third year riding, no matter how long you've been riding, you should always be telling yourself in your head, before you even go into that curve, hey, look where you're going to exit. Look exactly where we're going to exit. Outside, inside, outside. And counter steer. And I guarantee you that'll save you in the long run of riding away. Alright, so there's a couple small curves into here, but we're pretty much going to push with our right handlebar and we're going to get into there. And we're going to pull with our right handlebar and we're going to get into there. And you can just see how easy it is to counter steer. It's super easy. Doesn't take much skill. Yeah, you can see like, you do not have to lean your body at all to get into that curve. To get your bike to turn. Now, do you want to? Yes, because the more upright your bike is, the more traction you have. And the more you lean your body, the more upright your bike is going to be. With that being said, your friends will probably make fun of you because you have large chicken strips, which isn't a bad thing by any means, but at the same time, what the fuck? Is this person high or something? Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but they were going like 12 miles per hour. I'm not staying around for that. Like, they were literally not doing the speed limit. You saw the speed limit was 25. They were doing like 5 miles an hour. I'm not staying behind them. Okay, I thought there was going to be more curves around here that I can practice, but I guess it's more of a fuck me kind of thing. But ultimately, when you're using counter steering, it's going to save you a lot in the real world situation, because when you counter steer, let's say a car suddenly stops down in front of me, you're not going to be leaning your body to get out of the way. You're mostly going to use counter steer to throw yourself out the way. And you're going to brake, right? Now, yes, you want to lean and counter steer, and it's going to give you better movement. Because the ultimate goal is to use all your abilities that you learn in your basic rider's course, or if you didn't take a basic rider's course, all your beginner abilities. You know, look where you want to go, not where you're going. Counter steer, outside, inside, outside, lean the bike. You want to use all your abilities as much as possible. And the more you understand that, the more you'll get better at riding a motorcycle. The more you understand how your bike works, the better it is. Let's see. We're going to pull right here. And you can see I didn't even lean my body there, and the bike was going exactly where I wanted it to go. Jeez, this is a beautiful area. Man, I would love to live here. Anyways, if you guys found this video interesting, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, anything to help the algorithm. It really helps me. Yeah, a simple comment, like, or a subscribe helps me and so much. likes even boost my ego, so if you want to give me a boost to my ego, go ahead and like the video. Hell yeah, moped's dope. That guy blatantly ran a stop sign.